Here we are. I tried resting, but I can't. I don't know if there is a bug or something. I tried several times, but
More of a stench.
I need a place to rest. What? I must endure your presence even longer? Will this torment never cease? Fine then, fine. Spread out across the floor. Raid my larder. Knock over my experiments. I'll just be over here fuming. He storms off. Thanks. But I don't sleep. We don't sleep. I don't think we're sleeping. There should be a screen, right? Also, I tried to shop from him, but it's very... I don't like it when the inventories are like that. I wish I just had a normal bartering interface, because we also need to get rid of some stuff, possibly. I don't know, maybe this is a bug? Not the inventory shop, I mean. Maybe the resting thing is a bug? I know not, and I have no choice. So we are going to this portal that's under the elbow arm, I don't know, of the giant skeleton upstairs. Oh yeah, good. I hope it's right here, because, okay. I'm sorry, I'm going. It's just... Bator? Ah, it looks cozy and beautiful. Welcome to Bator, then.
Done.
I hope we can find a village or something. Okay. No enemies so far, that's cool. Okay. The complete opposite of where we were before. This is very quite desert. Very quite
Stop
desert.
staring at my tail, you skull.
The tail, really? Excuse me? What was that, like a meteor? Something, some kind of weather event? Weather. Seriously, these rocks are aggressive. Oh. Oh, you want to fight? Fine. Duck or you're late.
I'm hurt.
Oh my god.
I'm gone. Done.
What does he have? Nothing that I particularly want. Especially since I don't really have much space anymore. I mean, we have Valor that has a completely empty inventory still. But, excuse me? God. Again? I suppose I will just have to stop here. What? Damsel in distress. Oh well, they are in a couple of hits and the women. Well, usually. I'm saying women die. Yes, true fact. More than men. It's easier to kill women, but in game, I think it just takes the same for... Oh, well, these ones are not that much of a problem. Very squishy. Well, that's what they are, right? They are squishy. What I meant was if it was a damsel in distress, not a damsel, a manling in distress, would he have resisted more? 2 bronze bracelet.
Done.
I wonder what's happening here. Oh, thank you. I needed that. Wait, what is... Okay, so this is a small map and enclosed. Probably there's gonna be an opening here to...
I don't trust the Gith. I say we leave it be.
Let's use some embalming fluid. Much better.
I'm gone.
Okay, yes, we can get out from here. Great. Pillar of Skulls.
All right.
Oh, it's like in our nightmare or dream nightmare, whatever it was. Well, would you look at that?
What's up?
Morte.
Good stuff.
Everybody's talking at the same time. Okay then. Let's talk with this Pillar of Skulls. The sight of this thing, this horrible, towering, pulsating thing fills you with nausea. Why? Unfounded loathing and a faint sense of familiarity. The innumerable rotting heads which make up the vast pile seems to constantly shift and throb. Okay, I thought they were skulls, but they're actually rotting, so they're not clean skulls, so now I understand why it would be awful to look at. But if it's just skulls, you know, clean skulls, that's not bad. Alternately bickering, weeping, conversing, shouting, and whispering to one another, heads constantly bubble to the surface of the stack from somewhere within its foul core, while others sink back into the grisly pillar. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a pillar of skulls, not a pillar of heads. Decomposing heads. Skulls are not a problem. Leave the pillar before you're noticed. Get the pillar's attention. As you make. To step closer to the pillar, Mortar hisses to you. Psst, Chief, listen, I can't let that thing see me. You've got to get me out of here. Drop me off somewhere. Pick me up later or something. Why, Morte? What's going on? I don't really like to talk about it. Let's just get moving, yeah? Morte's voice trembles with fear. His eyes flicker back and forth between you and the massive pillar of heads. I can't have you keeping so many secrets, Morte. You've got to tell me what's going on here.
Updated my journal.
Morte sighs, unable to meet your stare. At last he relents. Fine, I'll tell you. There's this pillar on Avernus, the first layer of Bator, built of the heads of all those who've led others to their deaths through lies. Well, that's it right there. See, that's where I ended up. Go figure. I kinda knew it. So you were one of those heads. Yeah, I told an exaggeration or two. It's just that one of my suggestions... You mean lies? Hisses Anna. Morte continues, unperturbed. One of my suggestions led to your death. One of them. Maybe others. I don't really know. Those memories are gone now. But are you immortal too, Morte? Are you immortal too, Morte? Morte stares at your feet. You've never seen him look so miserable. Those memories, they look, Chief. I don't even remember being human. I don't remember what life was like before the pillar. Ooh, maybe oh. Nakon, staring into the distance, speaks quietly. It is like cupping water in one's hands. Perfect. Morte glances at Dakon. Then you. Yeah, I guess. And that's pretty much the way of things when you die. You forget. I figure I wasn't a sterling member of the community when I was alive, but hells, who is? Morte sighs again. It's just that I can't help it. Nothing is worse than being honest all the time. But look, Chief, if that pile of heads sees me, it will want me back. Bad. You can't let that happen. Wait, how do you get free of the pillar? Well, you pulled me off, Chief. I fought my way to the front of the pillar. You've been here before, you know, yammering and howling until you had noticed me. I begged to be freed, swearing that I'd follow you, sharing my knowledge until your final days. I just didn't realize how long that'd be until after you'd already torn me free. And all the pillar's knowledge? Oh, that. Well, I also didn't realize I'd lose most of the pillar's accumulated knowledge once I was out of it. Well, it kinda makes sense, because the pillar could work like a hive mind. Which would make sense. A hive head. Piking powers, did that ever set you off? But you kept me around just the same, and at first I felt bound to you, that maybe your sorcery had turned me into some sort of familiar. But after a couple hundred years I realized it was more than that, something deeper. More than just a debt of gratitude, too. Though that sure as the hells had something to do with it. I just felt drawn, connected to you somehow. Maybe it's all your suffering, Chief, your torment. I don't know, maybe I likened it to my own when I was in that pillar. Just how long have you known me, Morte? Don't know, ages, I suppose. I've done all I could to help you find your way each time, but... Morte sighs, then lifts himself up to meet your gaze. You rarely make it this far, Chief. I mean it. Only 4 or 5 times, I think. This could be the time that the you that makes it finds out what's going on. I hope so. Why didn't you tell me you knew me back in the mortuary? Morte suddenly becomes defensive. Oh my god, sorry. No. Because I never know who you're going to be. Some of your incarnations have been stark, raving mad. One time you woke obsessed with the idea that I was your skull and chased me around the spire trying to shatter and devour me. Luckily you were crushed by a passing cart in the street. Another good and lawful, you tried to thrust me back into the pillar because it's where I belonged. Morte smirks. That's why, besides no harm's ever come of you not knowing. But what do I do? How do I tell you to wait somewhere? Can I even do that? How do I do that if I can do that? Can you wait for me somewhere?
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
I don't see anything. Well, guess what? I'm going to talk with the pillar because I have no choice.
Done.
Sorry, Morte. Morte, I'm going to speak with it now. I need to. You take another cautious step towards the pillar, and all their conversation abruptly stops. The dozens of head that lines the pillar's surface slowly turn to face you in unison. They regard you silently, their breath fetid and moist upon you, until they notice Morte cowering behind you. Oh no. Every head on the pillar's surface speaks at once to make the thing's voice, a terrible burbling sound that bubbles forth while foul, stinging vapors and putrid corruption stream from their mouths. You again. It's been a long time indeed. Many of the heads begin to gibber and drool, chanting, skull, 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 gleefully licking their lips, their eyes fixated upon Morte. What do you mean? Silence, we speak not to you, but to the skull. Welcome back, little one. Have you at last decided to return to the fold, to accept your final fate, to take up once more your sacred duty? Several heads burst forth from the pillar's core, gnashing their broken teeth and wailing. Yes, come back to us, skull. Skull. Oh my god. Stop, just stop it. Morte shakes with fear, his teeth rattling. I can't go back, Chief, I can't. He hasn't come back to you, but I had some questions, Pillar of Skulls. Every head on the pillar's surface speaks at once to make the thing's voice, a terrible burbling sound that bubbles forth while foul. This smell, it is strong, it shall cross the plains soon, and the bell will come. The smell? What do you mean? The head's eyes turn wetly in their sockets to stare at Fall from Grace. The smell. Her musk. The Tanari musk, the bittersweet scent carries. And will attract Batesus soon. Their Lord Bell will be angry. Oh, good God, I see. Oh, that's just great. The heads turn their gazes back to you, though a few still snuffle noisily. If you have your questions for us, you had best be quick. A few of the heads squint and gargle softly. You think they might be laughing at you. Well, as I said before, then I had... Before you can finish, a portion of the pillar trembles, and yet another head oozes its way to the surface. After some of the noisome slime has sloughed off, you recognize it as Pharaoh's. It spits out a mouthful of bloody cysts and croaks. Anna, me darling child, is that you? Da! What you be doing in this place? Well, I suppose we know what you be doing. The other heads remain mostly silent for a time as Pharaoh speaks. Only a few whisper quietly to themselves, making wicked sidelong glances at Hannah and their foster father's head. I was wrong, my dear girl, about the sphere. It wasn't enough, no, and now look where I've ended. I beg of you, lovely Anna, save your poor father, save me. Oh, please, save me, save me. But even as it speaks, Pharaoh's mewling head begins to sink back into the pillar's core. Why would I save him? Anna stares hard at the pillar, eyes narrow, their fists clenched and tail rigid. A mixture of fury and anguish is smeared across her trembling face. Anna, I'm so sorry. I love how I am very unemotional. Absolutely. I love how Fall from Grace is trying to compensate for all the other people's shortcomings. Anna, I'm so sorry. Anna smirks, spits and turns away from the pile of rotting heads. She shrugs, but won't look at either Grace or you, no matter. Did you love Farod, Hannah? Anna turns, eyes blazing. He was my dad. She bares her teeth. I hated him. He only saw me in a way to scarper more bodies, more jink and more junk to line his vault. Anna dear, Anna lass, you're the most precious thing in me vault. He'd lie, and he was weak of mind and weak of body, and he smelled of corpse rot and had all the feelings of a vulture picking at a corpse. Great. Anna's voice lowers, but the fire in her eyes burns brighter, and he was the only one ever to show me a scrap of kindness. Is that what you wanted to hear, is it? You pleased now, I? Enough, bellowed the pillar's stinking heads. We tire of your insignificant prattle and would know your business with us. Yeah, let's get back on track. Questions. Ask a question of us then, and be prepared to hear our demands. You shall render unto us a service for your answer. What service? What are you? The heads gurgle and croak their reply through rotted lips. We would answer that question for a service. What is that you demand? Come on, Chief, didn't I just tell you what it was? It's composed of the heads of liars whose advice sent those they advised to their deaths. It can answer almost any question. It knows more than a lot, but it will expect a whole mess of payment for its services. Don't ask it a question like that. The heads interrupt with their one voice. Silence, you demean our noble station with such casual talk. A particularly hideous head cries out, and to call all of us liars is... Yeah, I don't think they are all liars. I think there is... I think it was described differently from the guy that described it to us. That some of them are liars and cheaters, but some of them are wise men, actually. I don't know if I didn't get it right. Particularly, and to call all of us liars is before being sucked back into the pillar's sickly heart. Alright. I don't know. Who am I? Oh god. Yeah, they want Morte back. The service is the skull. We demand the skull as a tribute. Return him to us. We shall have your answer. Don't put me back in there, Chief, please. Cease your feeble protestation, Skull. The decision is not yours. The pillar's many heads swivel slowly to face you, their eyes narrowed. Too long as he cheated his fate is ours. Were you to return him, we would be most well disposed towards such a gift. We wish to savor his screams. Wouldn't it be fantastic if you had to do this to all your companions? Like, as much as your fate is to die, their fate is to go back where you picked them from, maybe? A gift. What other gifts would you accept? The pillar leans towards you, the eyes of its head narrowing. There is knowledge. You possess that we wish for ourselves. Where does the fiend, the fuel-forked tongue, reside? Tell us, and we shall answer your question. The stench of the pillar's hot breath surrounds you as it awaits your reply. Let's try lying. They probably lie too. Fuel has hidden himself well in a demi-plane of a long-dead sorcerer's devising. He appears only occasionally within sigil, and it's there that I met him. The pillar savors your gift for a time, its heads cooing and whispering to one another. I wonder if was the nameless one feeding them lies. It's all feeding on lies. It's a never-ending cycle. And my answer? Not who, what. You have been divided. You are one of many men. One in many men. Each one, whether good or evil, a monster who casts a shadow upon existence. A shadow upon existence.
My journal.
Oh yes, the pillar's heads narrow their eyes and smile grotesquely. Each time you die, immortal, you cast a shadow. Each time you die, another dies in your stead. These shadows, they gather, hungering for you, within the fortress of regrets. How many times have you perished, nameless one? How many hundreds, thousands have died because of you? The pillar trembles with wicked glee. Its heads pull faces and gurgle mockingly at you. Suddenly the hair on the back of your neck rises. You turn to see Valor staring at you, his eyes burning brighter than you've ever seen them. Yes! You! It is you! How long have I hunted you, nameless one? And how long would I stand beside you before the deception was exposed? As he hefts his axe into the air, pure power begins to curse through him. His dedication, his incredible conviction is turning Valor into the literal physical embodiment of justice. It is fate that has placed me so close to you, criminal. Justice shall be served. You shall fall beneath my blade, immortal, even if I have to stand over your struggling remains for eternity. Really? Try and run? Oh god.
All right.
Valor, come on. Valor! Okay, you know what?
I'm hurt.
You get away. Well... Well then, goodbye Valor. It's been great to be with you. Probably if I didn't ask the pillar the question, I wouldn't have lost him. Now, is it convenient for me to lose him? I don't know. I just have enough. Okay. Who is my killer? We do not know. Those heads that once contained such knowledge have been destroyed and removed from us. We cannot answer you this question. Okay. How do I reach the Fortress of Regrets then? The heads gurgle and croak, they reply through rotted lips. We would answer that question for a service again? What other gifts? Oh, fall from grace. She will do. Yes, the Tanari. Give her to us. We will consume her alive. Bathe ourselves in her sweet blood, then we shall answer your question. Something else, maybe? Okay, so we already lost a companion. Oh, maybe I was meant to just answer one question and then lie. Oh. I don't know. So we didn't give him. I was hoping to get back to the normal dialogue, but the pillar is furious because we won't give him our companions. And heads begin to howl and bellow out across the plains. The very ground beneath you shakes as the thundering cacophony threatens to deafen you. I see.
Chief, nothing's worth this. Please, let's get out of here.
Yeah, maybe we should have just asked one question, which I'm not good at. I like having question answered. I like having bits and pieces of information. Probably it's not the case. Okay, so let's ask. I reloaded because I need Valor. I don't know what's gonna happen from now on, so I need him, I suppose. I have no choice. How do I reach the Fortress of Regrets then? Oh, Pillar of Skulls. Heads gurgle and croak. What's your demand then? Not the skull. What other gifts? Okay, let's lie again. We are lying again. Let's see the answer. Already you possess the key, and need only the location of the portal that shall lead you there. We know not where the portal lies, but might tell you its key. Regret. Many of the pillars' heads begin to weep and moan. Yes, regret, regret, regret.
Updated my journal.
Yes, you must have experienced regret to reach the fortress. Write it upon a piece of your flesh, and your passage through the portal is assured. And the portal, you say you don't know where it is? Yes, only 3 have known the way. The first one was you, though you have forgotten now. The second lies beyond the portal and shall not emerge. The third one you have already met. They know of your condition, the fortress, and your need to reach there, but they shall not help you. Their shield is one forged from the cold metals of lies and deception, a thing you cannot hope to break with mere words. You must do battle with them. Who is it? The heads remain silent for a time, giving you naught but smug smiles. Finally it speaks. You have met the liar, and not for the first time. The liar knows, but did not tell you. A petty betrayal between immortals. Some of the decomposing heads roll their eyes and snicker at you. It's Morte. No, it's this one. Is Fuel? Really? Lothar? Who's Lothar? I don't remember him. Who's Lothar, guys? Maybe I completely erased him from my memory, or maybe I never met him. Ravel? Trias? Well, I'm trying Lothar because I don't know who the hell he is. Head's charter with sickly, not that one, to be sure. Guess again. Alright. Well, I guess maybe Ravel. Not that one. Guess again. Maybe Few? Guess again. Well then, Trias?
Updated my journal.
Oh yes, the last one I expected. Though we know him by his full name, Trias the Betrayer. The pillar shakes with mirth, the pile of rotting heads tottering back and forth as it laughs at your distress. A few of the heads chant mockingly, Betrayer, Betrayer, Trias the Betrayer. Well, we didn't know anything about him, so... Why would he lie to me? Yeah, why would he lie to me? How did he come to know of this? Trias exchanged words with you once, long ago, when you knew the way. You spoke your heart, and Trias, in the way of all great betrayers, listened well to build your trust. Short the conversation was, though filled with meaning. Meaning, and that is what you seek. To separate things they are for a normal man, but for you one and the same. Why would he lie? The answer is not ours to give. You must seek him out yourself and ask him. Okay. Well, I can't, okay. I said farewell, because I don't want to give these guys any companions. I need them. The pillar holds your departure with a sudden demand. Stop, give us the skull. We shall not allow him to go. He is ours. He shall not leave Avernus. The heads begin cooing and taunting Morte. Yes, Skull, don't be shy. Come back, Skull. It's comfortable in here. Skull, come back. It doesn't hurt, Skull. It is great fun to be without a body, living in a pillar of rot with 1,000 other lying heads. Grab Mort and thrust him to the pillar of skulls. I gave you what you wanted. Goodbye. The pillar's furious heads begin to howl and bellow out across the plains. The very ground beneath you shakes as the thundering cacophony threatens to deafen you. Leave quickly. My God, Morte. Your family? Very bad. Hello?